Winter Dance by Marion Dane Bower, illustrated by Richard Jones. A single snowflake floats through the air, spins, leaps, settles on the nose of a fine red fox. "Winter is coming," says the fox. "What should I do?" "I can tell you what to do," says a woolly caterpillar. "Wrap yourself in a shiny chrysalis so you'll wake to a butterfly spring." And the woolly caterpillar crawls away to do just that. "That won't do for me," says the fox. "I'm not meant to fly." "I can tell you what to do," a turtle calls. "Tip your tail to the sky and swim down, 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 to bury yourself in the slick, cool mud." And the turtle does just that. "That won't do for me," says the fox. "Mud is much too muddy." "Let me tell you what to do," whispers a bat. "Zig and zag and swoop into a cave. Then hang by your toes and go to sleep." And the bat does just that. "That won't do for me," says the fox. "My toes would get tired." Plop! An acorn drops from a tree. "I can tell you what to do," chatters a squirrel. "Gather, gather, gather, then quick, quick, hide everything away." And he scampers off to do just that. "That won't do for me," says the fox. "I don't even like acorns." "We'll tell you what to do," geese honk from the sky. "Flap your wings and fly away to warm days and silky soft nights." And going, gone, the geese do just that. "That won't do for me," says the fox. "I belong here in the forest." A snowshoe hare hops by in his new winter coat. "I can tell you what to do," he says. "Turn yourself white to match the snow." And the snowshoe hare, who has done just that, disappears into the whitening world. "That won't do for me," says the fox. "I love my red fur."
"I can tell you exactly what to do,"
says a great black bear.
"Curl beneath the roots of a toppled balsam tree and tuck all your growls away."
And the great black bear does just that. "That won't do for me at all," says the fox. "I'm not a bit sleepy." "Hush," the wind sighs. "Hush." The fox lies down on the forest floor and puts his nose between his paws. The sun slides down the blue bowl of the sky. "Hush," the wind says again. The fox hushes. More snowflakes land on his nose. And then a whistle. Soft, soft. A white-tipped tail. Golden eyes. "I can tell you what to do," says a fine red fox, bowing low. "When a million snowflakes fill the air, twirling, tumbling, spinning, waltzing, you and I join them." "Of course," says the fox, standing tall, "because that's what we fine red foxes do in the winter. Dance." The end. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Bright Winter Night by Allie Bryden, illustrated by Aisling Lindsay. There's magic in the winter air, as all the creatures are aware. A sway and creak as pines bow low, and then begins the song of snow. The forest calls and creatures come, big and small, one by one. They sense there is a task to do, as night descends, replacing blue. Falcons built for zooming wings work fast while wrapping silken strings. Wren flutters while she chirps and jigs, determined as she lays down twigs. Beaver's got him, so he lends some solid hefty boughs to friends. Stag joins the creatures in their game. His antlers help to make the frame. The rabbits with their skillful feet design and build a comfy seat. And just the thing to make it soft, Bear arrives to climb aloft. Last, the pack of wolves appears, a signal that the course is clear. And now just one small thing remains. Mouse knots a sturdy set of reins. Together they have built this sleigh. No one hunter, no one prey. There's just one goal, they must move fast, for soon the northern lights will pass. The wolf pack launches with a start and races through the forest's heart. Bear hugs his arms and legs around to help his friends stay safe and sound. Mouse boldly tugs a tightened rein to navigate the tough terrain. The sleigh careens, the rabbits jump, as all the rest go bump, bump, bump. Stag bends low and drops his rack to dig out friends and help them back. Beaver's strong and steady tail hauls the sleigh onto the trail. They spy a flash and Squirrel says, "Whoa! Come on, friends, let's go, go, go!" Hooray! The friends can see they're veering through the snow and toward the clearing. The sleigh pulls up, Wren claps and cheers. My dear sweet friends, we're finally here. Ooh, ah, the northern lights. The friends glance up to catch the sights. The colors dazzle, glow and blaze. The flashes sizzle, shock, amaze. Overhead, the sky so grand has cast its brilliance on the land. This moment draws the friends together, beak and muzzle, fur and feather. The magic in the winter's air drifts all around them everywhere. And peacefulness so warm and bright settles in their hearts tonight. Colors fade, the lights grow dim, creatures huddle closer in. They sigh and settle in their heap as under stars they fall asleep. The end. Thanks for watching.
Waiting for Snow. Words by Marcia Diane Arnold. Drawings by Renata Liauska. Hedgehog found Badger staring at the sky. "What are you doing, Badger?" "Waiting for snow. It's winter and I haven't seen one snowflake." "It will snow in snow's time," said Hedgehog. "All we have to do is wait." "I'm tired of waiting," said Badger. He dragged pots and pans and spoons from his house. "Wake up, Sky! It's time to snow." Rabbit, Vole, and Possum came flying. Snow didn't. "What are you doing, Badger?" asked Rabbit. "He's trying to make it snow," explained Hedgehog. "Let's throw pebbles at the sky," said Rabbit. "The pebbles will punch holes in the clouds so that snow can fall through." Pebbles rained down. Snow didn't. "It will never snow," groaned Badger. "When it's spring, crocus bulbs always bloom," said Hedgehog, "though sometimes they are late." "My granny says a snow dance will bring snow," said Vole. "But it has to be a special dance, danced with good friends." They stomped and rocked. They bopped and boogied. They whirled and swirled. "It was a special dance," grumped Badger, "but it didn't bring snow." "The sun comes back every day," said Hedgehog, "and the stars every night." "I know one more thing to try," said Possum. "Tonight, wear your pajamas backwards. In the morning, we'll have snow." This always works for possums. That night, Badger put on his pajamas backwards. In the morning, he hurried outside. "Snow!" Badger cheered. "Sugar?" Badger frowned. "It wasn't snowing this morning," said Hedgehog, "so we made our own." Badger plopped on his porch step and moaned. Sugar is not snow. Crocuses always bloom in the spring. The sun rises every morning. Stars shine every night, said Hedgehog. Sometimes they come late and sometimes early, but they always come in their time. The friends sat beside Badger and waited and waited and waited until it was time. Marcia Diane Arnold is an award-winning author whose picture books include Lost Found Roar of a Snore and The Pumpkin Runner. Like Hedgehog, Marcia loves nature. Like Badger, she's sometimes impatient. In Kansas, where she grew up, she waited impatiently for snow every winter so she could sled, build snow people, and take sleigh rides. Snow always came in its time. Up in North Calgary, Canada, the best-selling illustrator Renata doesn't usually have to wait too long for snow, but she certainly knows what it feels like to have to wait, just like Badger. Renata can't wait for kids to read her 9th picture book. Other books she has illustrated include The Quiet Book Once Upon a Memory and her own books Red Wagon and Little Panda. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.
Mice Skating, written by Annie Silvestro, illustrated by Tegan White. During the cold winter months, most field mice take cover, tunneling deep underground, burrowing into farmhouse walls, nestling in hollow logs. But not Lucy. She loved the feeling of snow crunching under her paws. She loved how the frosty air made her whiskers freeze. And most of all, she loved wearing her fluffy wool hat with the pink pom-pom on top. It did more than keep her head warm. It kept her heart warm, too. It made her brave. It made her bold. It made her bloom. Lucy loved winter. Her friends did not.
"Your fur is freezing,"
said Mona when Lucy came inside. "Your nose is dripping," said Millie.
"Your teeth are chattering,"
said Marcello. "I know," said Lucy. "Isn't it wonderful?" She asked her friends to join her, but they wouldn't budge. "We're comfy and cozy," they said. "Warm and toasty till spring." So Lucy donned her hat and dashed outside, all by herself. She caught snowflakes with her tongue, flapped her arms and made snow angels, and built snow mice. Lots of snow mice. But Lucy wanted to share the winter with her friends. So she tried bringing it to them. First, she brought snow cones. Then, a giant icicle. She even planned an indoor snowball fight. It was a soggy flop. "Please come outside," begged Lucy.
"Not till it's warm,"
said Mona. "Not till flowers bloom," said Millie.
"Not until the snow is made of mozzarella,"
said Marcello. One day, Lucy skidded on an ice patch. She slipped, she slid, she soared. Lucy couldn't wait to try again. She fashioned skates out of pine needles and scurried to the pond. At first, she wobbled. She fell more than once. But with practice, soon she was ice skating. Her tail twirled with joy. She couldn't let her friends miss out on this. So Lucy gathered supplies and returned underground.
"Finally come to your senses?"
asked Mona. "Ready to thaw out?" squeaked Millie.
"Tired of being provolone?"
asked Marcello. Lucy hummed happily. "You'll see," she said. Lucy skated every day. Then she danced back to her burrow, trailing bits of yarn or piles of pine needles. The other mice wondered what she was doing, but Lucy didn't say a word. She just kept working quietly in her room. Her friends grew more and more curious.
"What on earth are you up to?"
asked Mona. "Don't keep us in suspense," said Millie.
We must pecorino,
cried Marcello. After a few finishing touches, Lucy was finally done. She placed a new hat on each mouse's head. "These will keep you warm," she said, "inside and out." The mice marveled at their new hats. "I have something else to show you," said Lucy. "Follow me." And to her surprise, they did. One by one, the mice emerged from underground. Lucy ushered them to the pond. Then, as the sun twinkled across the sky, Lucy took off. She spiraled and swirled, swizzled and twizzled, looped-a-looped. She was flying.
Marvelous!
Cried Mona. Spectacular! Cried Millie.
brevissimo,
Cheered Marcello. We want to try, squeaked her friends. Lucy handed them their skates. Then they teetered onto the ice. They wobbled, they fell, but with practice, soon they were mice skating. Whee! Squealed Mona. What fun! Squeaked Millie.
Who knew winter could be so Gouda?
Said Marcello. I did, said Lucy, beaming. The mice cheered. And together they bloomed like spring. The end. Thanks for watching. The Snow Dancer by Addie Boswell, illustrated by Merce Lopez. Sophia was asleep when the snowflakes came. All through the night they fell, frosting the rooftops, fluffing the sidewalks, laying fuzzy hats on the fire hydrants. When she woke, Sophia flew to the window. "Snow day?" she asked. "Snow day," she said. "Snow day!" she cheered. Her voice hung in the still air. No buses squealed, no cars honked, no neighbors shouted. Her city and all its sounds had disappeared. Sophia bundled out of the sleeping house. She sniffed the cold, clean air and tasted the sparkling snow. Woomph! She fell down the hidden steps. Crunch, 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 crunch. She hopscotched down the invisible sidewalk. Slish, slush, slish, slush. She skated across the frozen street. She slid to a stop at the top of the park. The sun shone like a giant spotlight. The soccer field gleamed like a giant stage. There wasn't a single set of footprints. Yet, Sophia leaped. She twirled. She made patterns with her footprints. Crunch, 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 crunch. She drew lines with her shuffles. She danced a whole ballet into the silence. Until children appeared at the top of the hill. "Look!" whispered a little girl. "A snow fairy!" But the other kids didn't hear. They saw the giant spotlight and the giant stage. They shouted, "Snow day!" as they ran skelter-melter down the hill. "Stop!" Sophia said. "Wait! Listen!" But the kids didn't stop. They were too busy running and jumping, laughing and yelling, pushing and falling, scattering all of Sophia's beautiful silence. A little girl tugged on her scarf. "Are you a snow fairy?" "I'm not a fairy. I'm just a dancer," sniffled Sophia. "What does a snow dancer do?" Sophia thought for a moment. She stood up a little straighter. A snow dancer can do anything. She reached out her hand. "I'll show you." The other kids stomped roads that crisscrossed the stage, and Sophia and her new friend twirled through the blank spaces. The other kids cannonballed themselves into the snowdrifts, and Sophia and her new friend leaped over them on their tiptoes. They skated and swirled and slid until a snowball landed, splat, right on Sophia's shoulder. The kids froze. A silence fell over the park. The snow dancer looked to her sidekick. They shared a secret smile. A secret snow dancer smile. "Snowball fight!" Sophia shouted. Soon the kids were too tired to throw one more snowball. They lay scattered in the snow and listened to the sounds moving closer. Snow plows pulled out. Screech! Screech! Scrape! Buses started their engines. Huff, huff, home! And parents called their kids home to shovel. Sophia spread her arms and gave her new friend a grand curtsy. The girl curtsied back. Then the snow dancer twirled in the white world once more and turned for home, dancing in her frozen footprints. Crinch, crunch, crinch, crunch, slish, sloosh, slish, sloosh, woomph. At home, Sophia snuggled up with a mug of cocoa. Sniffle, sniffle, sigh. Outside, the world sparkled and glistened. "Snow day," Sophia whispered.
Over and Under the Snow by Kate Messner, with art by Christopher Silas Neal. Over the snow I glide, into woods frosted fresh and white. Over the snow, a flash of fur. A red squirrel disappears down a crack. Where did he go? Under the snow, Dad says. Under the snow is a whole secret kingdom, where the smallest forest animals stay safe and warm. You're skiing over them now. Over the snow I glide, past beech trees rattling leftover leaves, and strong silent pines that stretch to the sky. On a high branch, a great horned owl keeps watch. Under the snow, a tiny shrew dodges columns of ice. It follows a cool tunnel along the moss, out of sight. Look, Dad says, tracks. Tracks always tell a story. Over the snow, a deer has crossed our path. Deep hoof prints punch through the crust, up the hill, under a tree. An oval of melted snow tells the story of a good night's sleep. Under the snow, deer mice doze. They huddle up, cuddle up, against the cold in a nest of feathers and fur. Over the snow, I climb, digging in my edges so I don't slide back down. Under the snow, voles scratch through slippery tunnels, searching for morsels from summer feasts. Over the snow I swoosh, down, down, faster, faster, down, faster, faster. Whoops! Under the snow, a snowshoe hare watches from a shelter of spruce. Almost invisible, she smooths her fur, a coat of winter white. Over the snow I glide, past reeds where tadpoles play tag in springtime. Under the snow, fat bullfrogs snooze. They dream of sun-warmed days, back when they had tails. Over the snow I stand and stare, little mountains in the marsh. Under the snow, beavers gnaw on aspen bark, settled in for supper. Can they hear my tummy rumbling too? Over the snow, stop! A sound. We stand like statues carved in ice, till a bushy-tailed fox steps from a thicket, tips his ear to the ground, listens, listens, listens still. His paws scratch away to find the mouse he heard scritch, scritch, scratching along underneath, under the snow. Over the snow I glide, a full moon lights my path to supper. Under the snow, a chipmunk wakes for a meal. Bedroom, kitchen, hallway, his house under my feet. Over the snow I climb one last hill. Bonfire smoke rises. Warm hands, hot cocoa, hot dogs sizzling on pointed sticks. Under the snow, a black bear snores, still full of October blueberries and trout. Over the snow, the fire crackles and sparks shoot up to the stars. I lick sticky marshmallow from my lips and lean back with heavy eyes. Shadows dance in the flames. Under the snow, a queen bumblebee drowses away December, all alone. She'll rule a new colony in spring. Over the snow I glide home on tired legs. Clouds whisper down feathery soft flakes. Under the covers, I snuggle deep and drift into dreams of cuddling deer mice and slumbering frogs, hungry beavers and tunneling voles, drowsy bears and busy squirrels, and the secret kingdom under the snow. The animals you met in this book really do eat, sleep, hide, and play over and under the winter snow. Red squirrels not only travel and hide under the snow, but they also store food underground. They hide seeds and nuts in holes or under rocks and use their fantastic sense of smell to find them later when they're hungry. Shrews are little animals, like mice, that sometimes become meals for great horned owls and other predators, so subnevian tunnels provide important shelter. White-tailed deer like to sleep under coniferous trees, evergreens with cones, that provide shelter on winter nights. When they curl up to sleep, some of the snow underneath them melts, making deer beds easy to spot in the woods. Deer mice make nests out of grasses, leaves, and other bits of plants and line them with soft moss, fur, and feathers. Mice often sleep huddled together in winter to conserve heat. Voles look a lot like fat mice, but with shorter tails and smaller ears and eyes. Like mice and shrews, voles forage for food under the snow, searching for seeds, bark, roots, and insects. Snowshoe hares are famous for their seasonal color change. In the summer, these hares have a coat that's reddish-brown or gray, but as winter approaches, they shed that hair and replace it with white hair to blend in with the snow. That makes it much easier for the snowshoe hare to hide from predators. Bullfrogs hibernate, buried in the mud at the bottom of ponds and marshes in the wintertime. Did you know that you can tell the difference between a male bullfrog and a female bullfrog by the size of their tympanum? That's a fancy word for ear. On a male bullfrog, the ear is about twice the size of the eye, while a female bullfrog's ear is about the same size as her eye. Beavers don't hibernate in winter, but they're less active, so they don't need as much food. Whole families spend the coldest months huddled together inside their frozen lodges. Before winter sets in, beavers pile branches and twigs at the bottom of the pond, not far from the entrance to the lodge. That serves as their winter food supply, and they'll dive down under the ice when it's time to eat. Red foxes often eat small mammals like mice, voles, and shrews, but finding those animals can be challenging in winter. The red fox has an excellent sense of hearing, though, and will actually listen for the sounds of animals like mice under the snow. When a fox hears a mouse, it will pounce, often with all 4 feet on one spot, to collapse the snow and trap the mouse underneath. Then it will dig until it finds its dinner. Chipmunks dig burrows in the earth and live there, underneath the snow, in the wintertime. A chipmunk's home often has different chambers, one for sleeping, one for storing food, and several tunnels for exiting and entering the burrow. Black bears sleep most of the winter. Before they go to sleep, they gorge themselves on foods like fish and berries, so they'll have enough energy to last until spring. Their dens might be in hollowed out trees, under logs or rocks, or in caves. Bumblebees don't all survive in cold climates. In fact, Males and worker bees die in the fall, leaving only fertilized queen bees alive. The queen bumblebee hibernates in the soil or under a layer of leaves. They can even produce their own antifreeze to keep them from freezing if temperatures drop too low. When the queen emerges in the spring, she'll find a cool, dark spot to nest, often an abandoned mouse den, and lay her eggs to start a new colony. Further reading. If you'd like to know more about animals in winter, you might enjoy the following resources. Books. Animals in the Winter. In the Snow, Who's Been Here? What is Hibernation? Big Tracks, Little Tracks, Following Animal Prints, Time to Sleep. Websites. The University of Michigan Museum of Zoology Animal Diversity Web. Hinterland, Who's Who from the Canadian Wildlife Service. Further reading for parents and teachers. Winter World, The Ingenuity of Animal Survival. Author's note. There really is a secret kingdom under the snow. Scientists call it the subnevian zone. It's a network of small open spaces and tunnels between the snowpack and the ground. It's created when heat from the ground melts some of the snow next to it and leaves a layer of air just above the dirt and fallen leaves. Many animals depend on the subnevian zone to survive the winter. For one thing, the snow acts like the insulation in our houses and keeps the subnevian zone close to 32 degrees Fahrenheit, even when the air outside is much colder. Small rodents like mice, moles, and voles travel under the snow because it helps keep them safe from predators, animals like hawks that would like to eat them. Some predators get tricky though. Weasels have skinny bodies and can squeeze into the tunnels in search of prey. Red foxes, like the one in the story, have fantastic hearing. They listen carefully for noises under the snow and can figure out just when and where to pounce to collapse the tunnel and trap a mouse for a meal. If you go cross-country skiing or snowshoeing in the woods, you might see tracks in the snow that lead to tree trunks or crevices and then disappear. Look carefully. Those tracks probably tell the story of an animal from the subnevian zone, that secret kingdom under the snow.